Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing today? Listen, we have a real breakthrough in the David case, okay? Remember how everybody was talking about David's manager, and by everybody, I mean me, saying, how can this guy be a wildly successful singer? He have a girlfriend who we all know, Celeste Rivas, was found in his car. Okay, there are lots of issues about the age. There's lots of issues about the relationship. The brother came out and said, yo, they was a couple. The neighbors came out and said they 100% lived together. A lot of people said, yo, one, David's manager was supposed to live with him, according to all accounts. The lease for David's house was in the name. David's manager used his Tesla. More importantly, we said, well, if David's manager was doing all this, how did he not know anything about Celeste? And who actually got Celeste to get those fake IDs? Because you cannot tell me a girl that was 12, 13 at that time, then when she went missing, 13 years old, when she was found 14 years old, you cannot tell me you guys are trying to make her this mastermind that knows how to get fake IDs. This girl doesn't even know how to go to the local 7-Eleven alone. Are you kidding? Well, okay, here's the breakthrough. David's manager is going to save himself, which makes me think that David, even though the police says he isn't a suspect, something is going on, because David's manager has pretty much cut ties and said, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. On top of that, what has he done? Okay, he's been clapping back at people in the comments. Now, here's the thing. It is on a TikTok handle that shares his name that everybody looking at the past, I mean, even before the David stuff, has said, yo, this links back to all these other accounts. It could just very well be him. Well, let's get into this because things are not looking good for David. And by not looking good, I mean all the people that he could pin this on, all the people that he could blame this on, all the people that he could say, no, it's them, it's them, it's them. Baby, they are saying it's not me. And if it's not me, who does it have to be? Yeah, exactly. You. Let's get into this, you guys, okay? First of all, do you guys know who we're talking about? Let me bring you up to speed really quick. Okay, now, you guys, listen. Here's the deal. A TikTok handle named J Mogul, M-O-G-U-L, or Josh Marshall, has commented on TikTok user Girl Towns, New Jersey's video and also clapped back at people in the comments. Now, you guys, I'm going to tell you what the video was about, but the J Mogul account denies ever being sent any email about Celeste Rivas, and also stated that he's never lived in the Hollywood Hills home where David was staying, the house that was rented in his actual name. Okay, now, why is that important? Because there was a private investigator on Twitter yesterday, that said that the parents and concerned family members of Celeste family and members, Celeste family members, they wrote a letter to David's manager being like, yo, this girl's too young, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Can you please send her back home? Private investigator Los Angeles Steve Fisher has uncovered a 2024 email sent by concerned adults or friends in Celeste Rivas Hernandez's life to his manager, who was Josh Marshall, the manager of David. The email sent when the teenager was reported missing stated a lot of things, okay? But they stated that they believed she was with David. No response was received, but Celeste returned home the following day. So people were wondering, what does John Marshall, okay? John Marshall, what does he know? Because he is David's manager. And if you're the manager and Celeste was with him on a lot of stuff, then some people think that you would actually know what that little girl, emphasis on little girl, was actually doing there, okay? Now, this guy who claims to be David's manager is on TikTok gangbanging in the comments, talking about no, no, no. Now, before you roll your eyes and be like, why would he be on TikTok? Why not? That's how they made their fame. Everybody's on TikTok these days. And that's the best way to go and counter the narrative. That's why China just gave up control of TikTok, because they realized that's how you can actually control the narrative. Now, Lauren Conlon underscore Lauren on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow her. Her feed is really great. She's included screenshots of the comments where he claims that none of the cars have been in the state of California. Well, none of his cars. This is David's manager. Okay. Like she says, this actually is David's manager, and a lot of people are pulling receipts to show that this is. Again, it is kind of crazy that the first time we hear a comment about anything is via TikTok, okay? It's also being reported that a red Tesla that belonged to the manager, Marshall, was parked in the garage of the home. LAPD has not given any information. So I'm putting on the screen his handle, Josh Marshall, J Mogul, okay? Now, I'm going to read you the comments. Really cool pin said, I swear to God, I've been saying this to my boyfriend. I think Josh did it. Girltown said, I think he's heavily involved. Josh Marshall jumped in there to say, how dare you say something like this with no facts? Then he went off on a rant. This video is false and the person is misinformed. This is the only time I'll speak on the matter. For now. This has been a tough time for my family as I am the father of 3 children. No offense, and I'm sure it has been a tough time for you, but what about the child that was found in David's Tesla? On top of that, you were probably one of the last people to see Celeste breathing. You know what David was up to. You probably helped or knew about the IDs. Now, whether you knew they were fake or not, I don't know, but this is very odd for you to focus on your family. She says, I've received no emails and I'm no one's roommate. I live full-time at home with my wife and kids. My daughter is 14 and this news is affecting so many lives. I never received any emails. I had zero knowledge of anything and I don't live in California. Also, I work remotely 95% of the time and my job doesn't require me to have much interaction with any of my clients or David, as there are many others that work with him on a day-to-day capacity, not me. You're his manager, and he was a rising star, so you didn't talk to him on the daily or weekly, and you never saw him? Okay. This news is tragic for so many and for her family. I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon. Let me remind people, a lot of this is speculation and alleged. In the meantime, I'm with my family, helping them emotionally get through this time. So another person responded, TMZ is talking about this case on the mainstream level. We're all small content creators, and it's funny, Mr. Marshall, that Mr. Marshall would come to us instead of the mainstream. Josh Marshall responded back to Viva los Afro-Mexicanos. Lol. I've never lived in that home. I live in an entirely different state with my family. I do not have access to any cameras nor anything on that property. Stop creating false narratives and assumptions. What are you talking about, false narratives and assumptions? This is what gets me with people. But Josh, this is the wrong time. Put out a formal statement if you feel so strongly. Send your thoughts and condolences to Celeste's family. Do something. Because the one thing you didn't say was you didn't know Celeste. And I'm not saying he did it. But everything since it's happened, I've been looking at the whole situation differently. Because what are you talking about? False assumptions? Maybe. But it's a house you rent. In front of the house you rent, less than 100 feet away from the house in your name that you rented for your client, who I believe is one of your biggest clients. His girlfriend was found in the front boot of the Tesla on the street, less than 100 feet from the house that you rent for your client. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And why are you on TikTok making comments instead of, why are you making comments on TikTok instead of like making a formal statement to the police? Or better yet, to the public? It's because this is an ongoing investigation? Huh? Did the police tell you not to say anything? Huh? Are you not saying anything because you're protecting yourself? Huh? Are you not saying anything because you're protecting David? Huh? Are you not saying anything because you're protecting your part of the percentage and you're hoping, praying that maybe his career can be salvaged? I find it odd that you're gangbanging in TikTok comments, but you haven't made one comment to on publicly sending your condolences to the family, or even talking about the last time you saw Celeste, or helping people get to the bottom of it. Again, he then said, I have no cars registered in my name in California, nor have any of my cars been in that state. Please use facts when supporting evidence when making comments. Sure. Right? Sure. Listen. Again, his comment went on. I never received any emails. I have zero knowledge of anything. I don't live in California. I work remotely 95% of the time. I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon. Let me remind people, a lot of this is speculation and alleged. In the meantime, I'm with my family, helping them emotionally get through this news of this tragedy. Please report on factual information. So why don't you give us, why is this a tragedy? Why are you helping your family get through this? How are you helping? You said that you were never there. You said you weren't involved. You didn't say you didn't know Celeste. You didn't say your family didn't know Celeste. So how are you helping your family? Your family. Helping my family? Helping them emotionally get through the news of this tragedy? What tragedy? What tragedy? Did he do it or not? Do you think he did it? Do you know Celeste? Are you going to say anything? Are you going to call her by name? Are you going to mention this woman that you clearly probably met? Are you going to mention her by name? This is so disrespectful. It really is. And it screams that you're just literally trying to put this together on your own accord. Listen, X Knight on Twitter said this is definitely him. When people make social media, they use the same handle across platforms. The same J Mogul handle can be seen on other platforms. He then shows the J Mogul handle on TikTok, but also on Instagram. And the one on Instagram is verified. Okay. He says he plays chess, not checkers. He said he's a music executive, a manager, a father, a house husband, mogul vision, play chess, not checkers. Again, somebody could have created this in his name. Yeah. Again, it's still not verified. This is him. But again, he didn't mention not knowing Celeste, and he didn't really even say anything about Celeste at all. Now he's saying he had virtually no interaction with David, but he's helping his family get through this news emotionally. Nothing is adding up, okay? I do believe that managers know a lot of aspects of their client's life, especially who they are dating, because who they are dating could sink careers. You see what I'm saying? It could literally sink their careers. I think managers actually do take an interest in who they are dating. Again, more information is going to have to come out. There was information that on the coroner's website, they haven't ruled Celeste's passing a homicide. However, other parts of the LAPD system is ruling it, so it just hasn't updated. You guys, we are going to be following this. We're also going to do our best to get a specialist on this week on live to talk about everything. You guys stay tuned, buckle up, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. But before I go, sorry about that. More importantly, I want to know, what do you guys think? What have you guys been hearing? This case is getting weirder and weirder. But the weirdest part that I can't get over is that no suspects have been named and no arrests have been named. But the fact that the suspect hasn't been named, but it was found in David, it makes me think a lot of people helped him with this, and this is a cover-up. But hey, that's just my opinion. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.